Youngie, Mai, and Lovey decided to get out of the boring reality and go on a trip. Just in time, a real VR was released and they decided to experience it. The theme they chose was adventure. As soon as they entered the theme, a stretch of road came out and they began to work around. By the time working became boring, two roads appeared before them. The left road was described as an interesting fast road, and the right road was described as a safe slow road. Youngie insisted on taking the left road, saying she wanted to get out of quickly, but Mai and Lovey wanted to take the right road safely.
Mai and Lovey persuaded Youngie to go together safely. Youngie, wouldn't it be better to arrive safely together, even if it takes time? Replied Youngie. What are you talking about? I'm sure that right road won't be fun. The left road is quick and interesting. Youngie seldom listened. In the end, Youngie chose the left road, insisting that he would go alone, while tired Mai and Lovey took the right road contrary to Youngie. Youngie, who has an impatient personality, said as she trudged along the road alone, "I made the right choice. They were just wasting time for nothing." Youngie, who was complaining about it, walked well and suddenly stopped.
In front of Youngie was a monster, whose upper body was a monkey and whose lower body was a duck. Then paper and bananas fell in front of Youngie. The paper said, "If you want to pass this road, press the switch on the monster's back." "It's too easy. I can do it myself." Youngie ran straight behind the monster. However, the monster did not show his back to Youngie, but rather hit Youngie on the back and knocked Youngie over. Mai and Lovey walked together, talking about the endless forest path, leaving only half the road. Youngie went back to the fallen paper and banana in tears. Youngie saw something on the paper that she had not seen before because she was excitedly. Hint: banana and cooperation.
At a long distance away from the end of the day, when my talks might ask the lobby, shouldn't we go back with Youngie? And he agreed. I thought so too. In the midst of the end, he goes back to the street where Youngie doubled in 10. In the meantime, Youngie continued the challenge, the must hunt. Goes back to find her friends after hearing the word cooperation. Youngie goes on Lovey and Mai meet each other on the way. On the cries, apologize and says help me. Mai and Lovey are very surprised and say don't cry, we are by your sound on return to the path Youngie had taken. After looking at the paper again, Youngie and Lovey plan banana and step the back of the monster. By carrying out the plan, Youngie and Lovey hold a banana and attract the monster and the Mai steps on its back end. The monster disappears with a bang.
"We finally defeated the monster," shouted Youngie, Mai, and Lovey. The monster disappeared and a note was left on the spot. The note said, "Cooperation is the greatest power." After reading the note, Youngie said to Mai and Lovey, "I'm sorry, I was being selfish, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to save me." At that moment, Youngie sat down and began to cry. Seeing that, Mai and Lovey held Youngie's crying hand and smiled. "It's all right. Let's get up and find a way out of here together." I looked around and saw our light in the distance, and Mai shouted, "Hey, look at the light." Youngie, Mai, and Lovey held hands and started walking in the direction of the light.
"What kind of light is that?" The three men walked toward the light, wondering about it. On the way, Mai was surprised and stopping. "What's going on?" Young asked. "What should I do? I actually picked up an item on the street on the right, but I left it behind." but I don't know what that is. But should I bring it back? Mine. Then Lovey got angry, saying to go along. The light is gone again. Lovey kept pushing the mic, not listening to Youngie. Youngie realized at that moment that if he didn't cooperate, the light would disappear.
Seeing the light gradually disappearing, Youngie shouted again to Mai and Livy. If we don't cooperate, the light will disappear. And the light began to flicker. Youngie, Mai, and Livy realized we can return to the original world through that light. But the more I tried to get closer to the light, the more dazzling it was, the harder it was to move forward. So I decided to look for the item I found while I was on the right side. Of course, 3 of us. Fortunately, there were no obstacles to returning to the right side of the road. Levy attributed this to cooperation. Mai, Levy, and Youngie went back and got the items Mai left behind. Then the light began to shine again at the far end of the road. Look, the light is shining again, said Youngie. Levy apologized, shouting to Mai to go alone. Mai, Levy, and Youngie went forward. Mai distributed the items one by one in the light that became brighter as they went on. The item was glasses to protect your eyes from light. So much Levy, Mai, and Youngie were able to finish their adventure without any problems. After this 3-hour adventure, the 3 realized that they had to cooperate with each other.